Hey everyone, so for the week of October 9th, there will be no class because I'll be traveling. The purpose of this video is to tell you everything that we would have gone over if there was class. So for this class, we'll be learning about notation, which is basically a more simpler way of uh, telling you which side to move and which way to turn it. Okay, and it also helps you learn and memorize algorithms faster.
So here is some notation right here, and notation is very important because it can help you learn algorithms faster, and it can also help you memorize them faster. So um, what I used to say was turn the for example, I would say turn the right side up, or turn the left side or to turn the upside left. I would say something like that. Um, which is very easy to understand, but it's it kind of but we can make it more simpler. So this is the notation is basically making that more simpler. So for example, let's look at this first one. This one is U. So U would basically stand for turning the upside clockwise. Okay, so clockwise basically means how a clock turns. Okay, so so if a clock turns to the right, then that means clockwise. And there's also something called counterclockwise, which is the opposite way that a clock turns, and we will go over that later on. But so here's U, which is turning the upside clockwise. So how we would do that is we would go to the upside, which is right here. That's the upside, okay? And then we would rotate the cube so that the upside is facing us, okay? And then we're going to turn it clockwise. So that, and you rotate it back, and you have completed U. And once you get more comfortable with this, you can just kind of memorize which way it turns, and then you could just do it. Okay, so you can kind of just remember, if you want, you can just memorize U as turning the upside to the left rather than turning it to a clockwise. Okay, but I if that is more simpler too. And then there is D, which is turning the downside clockwise or turning it to the right. And there's R, turning the right side clockwise or up. And there's L, which is turning the left side down or clockwise, and then etc. And F and B stands for front and then the back. Okay. Um, and here is some the basically the opposite of what I just told you. Um, so here we have on this slide we have a letter and an apostrophe. Okay, so the apostrophe basically means that if I read this out here, that would say U and then prime. So then I would call that U prime, and same for all of these. I would call this D prime, R prime, L prime, F prime, B prime. Okay, so um, the prime basically means that you want to do the opposite of if there was just no apostrophe. So you would do the opposite of um, clockwise, which is counterclockwise. Okay, or like if it was left with no apostrophe, with if it was left with no apostrophe with no prime, then you would turn it right if there was prime. So that might be a bit hard to understand, but I'll make it simpler now. So for example, this is U prime. So basically, I would turn this the opposite of U, which is when I turn it, which U is turn the upside left. So I would turn the upside right, or turn the upside counterclockwise. And then for D prime is opposite of D, which means turn the downside left, or counterclockwise. And then that goes and that's the same thing for the rest of these, okay? So that is the notation for you.
Okay, so now I'm going to give you guys an example, okay? So let's start with U first, okay? So for U, which stands for up, we would turn the upside clockwise, okay? So the upside is here, so we would turn the upside clockwise. So this is the upside, so we would go to the upside, right, and have it facing us, and then we will turn it clockwise, right? And then we rotate back, so it will be U. And then for D, will be down. So let's have a downside facing us and turn it clockwise, right? and rotate back. And if you look look closely, you can tell that U and D turn opposite ways. Okay, so don't think that D will turn the same way as U, because it doesn't. And for R would be the right side, right? So you want the right side facing you, and then turn it clockwise, and then bring it back, and then that's R. And L is left, so you turn have the left side facing you and turn it clockwise, okay? And bring it, okay? So then that's L. And then for F is very easy, which is front, turn, and you turn the front side clockwise, okay? And that's F. And for B, which is back, you have the back side facing you and turn it clockwise. So that's B. And then for prime, you would do for U prime, you would turn it counterclockwise, so you would have the upside facing you, and then you would turn it counterclockwise like that. So it's like this. So then clockwise is like this, like a clock, and counterclockwise is like this. Okay. And for D prime, you turn the downside, have it facing you. You turn the downside counterclockwise, and then for the right side, you would have the right side facing you and turn it counterclockwise. So that's R. For L prime is left, so you'd have the left side facing you and turn it counterclockwise. And for F prime, turn it front side counterclockwise like that. And then for B prime, you turn the back side counterclockwise. Okay, so that is all of it. And then for if the notation says something like a letter and then 2, then that, so for example, if it said U2, that means up and 2, so that means you would turn the upside twice like that. Okay, and you can turn it in any direction, it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then R2 and D2, L2, F2, and then B2 like that. Okay, all right. So then that is the notation.
Right here, this website here is called cstimer.net. Okay, so why I'm showing this to you is because that this website basically is kind of like a timer, and it saves all your solves for you. Okay, so I'm not really asking you that you need to use this. This is kind of just optional, but I feel like it's a great way to practice your notation. So basically up here, right here is a scramble. Okay, and I mentioned it in the first class. But a scramble is basically like how you would scramble your cube. Okay, so all this is notation right here. Okay, also I need if it says like a letter and it says 2, that means turn that side twice. Okay, so I forgot to mention that. But I feel like this is a great way to practice your notation because every single time it's always random, and if you want to move to a new scramble, you just press next, and it'll give you a new scramble. And down here, it should show you a chart. Here, sorry, but it should show you a chart of how your cube should look like when it is scrambled. Okay, um, and then when you click onto CS Timer, because you won't have an account yet, I want you to press Tools and then go down here to Function, and then you can go to Draw Scramble. Okay, so it shows you what your cube should look like after you scramble it. Okay, and if you want, this is also a very good timer that you can use to like save all your solves once like for 2x2 or pyramids. Because like right here, see, I have all these like kind of like different cubes and stuff. And I save everything here. Okay. I highly recommend this to you if you're looking to practice the notation.
So now I'll give you an example on how you would use CS Timer to help you with notation. If you don't know how to solve a cube yet, I don't want you to use CS Timer, because then after you scramble a cube, you won't be able to solve it, and then you can only do it once. Okay, so if you don't know how to solve a cube, I want you to focus on getting all the notation down first, so it can help you with algorithms. Okay. So now we're going to start doing the notation and the scramble, and the important thing is that you want to have white on top and green facing you, okay? So first thing we're going to do is F2, which is front twice, and B2, which is back twice, and then U is up clockwise, D2 is down twice, F is front clockwise, L prime is left counterclockwise, B2 is back twice, L prime is left counterclockwise, D prime is down counterclockwise, B2 is back twice, L2 is left twice, U prime is up counterclockwise, R2 is right side twice, L2 is left side twice, U prime is upside counterclockwise, F2 is front twice, and L2 is left twice, U is clockwise, R2 is right twice, and then D2 is down twice, okay? So now let's look at the scramble here, okay? So let's look at the top side here. So how you know is that this has a white centerpiece, and this should also have a white centerpiece. So you want to look at that. So we have blue, green, red, orange, red, yellow. So that's correct. So let's look at the green side. We have this green here. We have the two blues, the yellow, red, and yellow. And orange side, you have the oranges, yellow, green, and then whites. And then let's look at the blue side here. The blue side has white, blue, orange, yellow, orange, green, red, green. Perfect. And let's get the red side. Yellow, green, reds, white, orange, blue, and white. Perfect. And let's look at the yellow side. White, green, red, whites, yellows, and blues. So we scrambled it correctly, okay? So now so that is how you would do notation on C. So that is how you would do notation on CS Timer.